Oh, look, I gave him the PK special.
They tried to drop me with a case, but you know I hadn't skated. I was singing like, ooh. I swear, nigga. Boy, I know my role and I play it. I do. If you heard that I'm talking, then I said it. I did.
I'm your favorite battler's favorite battler.
Yo, so it's your boy PK, Brady Gang Boss Man, your favorite battler's favorite battler, the best thing you never heard of, all that. Brady Gang Boss Man, you already know. So, my lucky number's 4. I put out the Rate My Team earlier today. I got another game coming out where I did the teams I made in Gen 7 and the teams I hijacked from Joey. All the games that I have that are versus people that we all know their name, and this one, which is Jam Squad, his World Cup team versus Finch. Jam's been my favorite battler since way back when, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm the only entertaining YouTuber that I know of as far as funny and slightly informative and just being an asshole all the time, because I don't know what professionality is, or professionalism, because that wasn't a word. And that's why I started going on YouTube. So like, Joey's an awesome YouTuber, but I don't find that entertaining because he's just good. So everybody I know that plays this game is just good, so it's not anything we don't know or is new to us. But Jam, the way that his thought process is like overly complex, and he will always beat somebody good and he loses to every noob, and that's exactly where I'm coming from. And I would rather always hold my own versus good players and lose to every bad player ever all the time. That's just how it is. So the complexity and intricacies in Jam's play and his thought process is highly articulated in his narrations. That makes him entertaining to me, and that's why he's my favorite. So I decided to use that team and see how it did in Gen 7. So that's what this video is, by the way. So it's just a whole bunch of games using the Jam Squad. So this game is all about momentum. Now, if you don't know what momentum is, this will demonstrate it as a demonstrative fact and not a concept. So, I lead the growth, he leads Gren. Now, Assault Vest growth is the gold standard in OU, so I'm gonna stay in. Actually physically defensive growth with Rocky Helmet. The only thing he can do to kill me is Ice Beam. I have the Heatran and a Gastro, so I don't think that he would ever Ice Beam turn 1. U-turn or gunshot is what I'm expecting. Gunshot lets me put him to sleep. U-turn lets me put something else to sleep. So that's why I stayed in and didn't fear the gram with Protean Ice Beam. So I don't miss the sleep powder. I hit the scissor. Now, I was talking about momentum. So already here I'm ahead on momentum because he has to switch or give me a free turn is the point. So he doubles in his Zygarde, but because he doubled into my Heatran, and I say it like that because Heatran is the only thing pressured in this situation. So the momentum that I had is now gone. The pendulum swung back in his favor. Now because he doubled into my train and I'm forced out, I'm predicting him to use any move that isn't Thousand Arrows, because he saw that my Tangrowth is physically defensive. If he Thousand Arrows, it just gives me all the momentum again. So Toxic is his best play from where I'm sitting. So I Toxic him, but he Toxics me. I see he's Toxic and he's faster, so I'm assuming that's a banded Zygarde now. And once again, if he's banded, he has to switch, so I got the momentum back. So the point of momentum is I want to get ahead and then stay ahead. I'm ahead now, so I'm going to taunt the Chansey so maybe I can stay ahead. What did he do? Oh, I just taunted him when he was in. I rocked on the switch. Okay. So, because he's taunted, I'm gonna go into my Tangrowth to knock something off and make that Chansey hurt himself. So he doubles back into my Tangrowth. So I don't care if he Toxics me. That's actually better for me because I'm not burned and I don't have to play around with paralysis. So I get the Zygarde down to 40%. I'll take that to be Toxic. Now keep in mind, if I only take 6% every turn, being Toxic is actually better than being regular poison. So if he's going back into a Scissor, I go back into Train. So I Toxic his Scissor, he switches out again into the Chansey. So I show Taunt already, so there is no universe where he does anything but switch. So he switches into the Grin, but I just taunt anyway because I'm an asshole. So in this spot I have a Gastro, so you never click water move ever is what I'm thinking. So he hydro pumps me, and he crits me. So I don't know what kind of Greninja can't kill Heatran with the crit hydro pump. This isn't specially defensive, it's just max HP, max speed. So I don't know what kind of Gren this is. I don't know at all. So a Toxic, I stayed in because Dark Pulse is the play. That's what I thought it was. So I'm gonna stay in again. I was under the assumption that he was Scarf Gren, so that's why I stayed in there. Apparently he's not, so now I have no idea what kind of Gren this is actually. So U-turn does less than lefties, and I taunted to hit whatever came in because I thought he was Scarf, so I thought he was gonna switch, not U-turn. So the Chansey's getting low at this point. It's at 70, so it's gonna come back in at 58, and he can't do anything but S-toss right now. So I don't know what I'm thinking he's gonna switch into. He didn't switch, he just S-toss to take Rocky Helmet and be forced to switch out because he doesn't want to lose his Eviolite. So the chance is going to be at 40% when it comes back in, so it's no longer a threat. Once again, I take 6% from poison, so still ahead of the curve for poison damage at this point. If I switch, I go back to full anyway. He doesn't have rocks, so he's being punished by these switches and I'm not. So now I doubled into Pinsir to pressure whatever he wanted to do. So Scissor has to switch now again. So I'm gonna pull the double into my Magneton because the only thing he can switch into is Celesteal. I don't see lefties, so that's why T-Bolt instead of Volt Switch. He lives because Celesteal is so fat, but he misses the Fire Blast. Now, him missing the Fire Blast didn't actually really matter. It would have killed my Magneton, but then I just would have killed him with Pinsir, probably Heatran actually, because he can't switch because rocks are up, and he can't get rid of them because the only thing he can defog with would be Scissor. So I'm locked in a T-Bolt. He actually goes Outrage, so I know that he's gonna die from poison this turn, so I could stay in, kill him with Rocky Helmet, but I'm gonna actually sack Lottie because he's locked into Outrage. So that forces a double down. So Pincer versus Grin is perfectly fine with me. So the mind game is, does he Ice Beam or does he HP Fire? Ice Beam will kill me, HP Fire will not. I predict him to Ice Beam actually. So I'm gonna stay regular and then Swords Dance. He HP Fires me, almost kills me, but it doesn't. So at this point, I'm pretty sure that I win the game because he has no priority. Chansey's at low, Grin dies to quick attack, Bulu dies to quick attack, and Scissor dies to frustration. So that goes down. Now, I thought the Grim was Scarf, but it's not. Celestial isn't. Zygarde is banded. Scissor, I'm assuming, is Mega. So, is this Scarf Bulu? That's what I'm thinking. And it never came in ever, so most likely it is Scarf Bulu. That's weird because basically if you have a Scarfer, you want it to be faster than Volt. So he brought this out first too, which makes me first it's Screaming Scarf, and I'm not gonna fall into the trap because I've actually frustration on a Scarf Bulu and lost Pincer for no reason. So I'm just gonna quick attack it. Now Scissor hasn't even had a chance to go Mega yet all game, which is funny. And then I'm gonna close combat just to troll, really. So good game, boss. So as you can see, the whole point was I never lost momentum ever in that whole battle. I got ahead and then stayed ahead and played accordingly. Fun fact, Tangrowth never took 2 turns of poison, so I netted 18% that I would have lost from regular poison. Scissor never got to come in all game. Zygarde won me the game. And Chansey was forced to be at less than half all game as well. And Celesteela would have killed the Magneton and then died. So that's just the whole thing. Like, momentum's a real thing. Newer players, bad players don't understand what it is. I never understood what it was. I just always knew what it was. So that was that game. It's funny, that was, how long did I spend talking about that? 20 minutes for one game, so this is gonna be super long. I'm gonna try to speed it up because I have it on fast anyway. But that game was probably one of the only games that I wanted to explain as much as I possibly could. So, Lando versus Lottie. So, yeah, anyway, before we keep going, if you don't know this team, This is Life Orb Lottie with Surf and Draco. Physically defensive tank growth, HP fire, not HP ice, sleep powder, curse, gastro, scarf magneton of course, and then pincer with close combat and no earthquake, and then toxic taunt, lava plume, stealth rock, Tran. So no earth power, no earthquake. Gastro can actually take 2 Dracos from Life Orb Lottie. So he led the Lando. So I'm not Scarf Lottie. That was what that whole rant was about. So if he is scarfed, he will U-turn. So he does U-turn, so that confirms to me that he's scarfed Lando, which means he's probably Rox Pharaoh and Specs Lele, standard Mantine, and I don't even know what that Diancie is. So he's gonna Psychic, and it's confirmed Specs Lele, so that's good for me. Then he Psychics again and gives me rocks, which I don't understand, but it's fine. So he Psychic, hit my Lottie. I can live 1, and if I want, I can just recover forever. So I double into what I thought was going to be the Mantine, or the Diancie, or the Pharaoh. Either way, I Oko Diancie, I force Mantine out, and now I can just eliminate the Pharaoh. So I guess he's Leech Seed Protect, which is obnoxious, but it's cool. So I'm gonna give him 1 spike. He missed the Leech Seed. He should have spiked again, I guess, but there's nothing you can do about that, and the only thing that changed is my Magneton would be at 75%. So he's gonna lose Pharaoh for 1 spike, which is fine with me. And then Scarf Lando again. So I'm gonna let him U-turn, give him Rocky Helmet. Again, is the thing. So Specs Psychic kills Lottie. That's cool. I'm not brave enough to ever close combat. So he Diamond Storms. Okay. So here, I'm gonna T-Bolt. He switches in a Lando. So I'm just gonna T-Bolt again. So he U-turns me, I kill the Diancie. So he's gonna bring back Lando again. I'm gonna T-Bolt again. And then I would 2-hit KO the Lele, but I don't. So now I'm gonna T-Bolt again. He can U-turn me, so his Lando's at 6%. when it comes back in. Lele's at 12% when it comes back in. Volcarona's at half, and this Mantine is about to be in a bad spot. So if I Swords Dance there, I just win the game. But he wants to default for some reason. So that's the only reason I didn't Swords Dance, is because there's no universe where he lets me Swords Dance for free. Cause even at -1, I still win the game. That's I don't understand, but it's cool. So I'm gonna quick attack the Scarf Lando, finish off the Tapu Lele, and then Frustration kills the Volt, even if I'm at like -4. I don't know what this game is, but it should be fun, I guess. So, Assault Vest Tangrowths run HP Ice for Landos and Zygardes. I don't want him to be Z-Flag lead Lando. So that's why I switched into Magneton. Then I'm gonna go back into Tangrowth. Then I'm gonna go back in Magneton. So he doesn't have Fly, is what I'm thinking. So I've seen Stealth Rock, U-Turn, Earthquake. I guess it's defensive Lando with HP Ice as his last move. So he U-turns into Volk on my Volt switch. That's enough damage. So now Quick Attack from Pinsir always kills it. So I'm gonna Volt switch into my Pinsir, and he's gonna a Volt switch on the Volcarona, and he's gonna Quiver Dance. So if he would be that guy that just attacks what's in front of him, he would just kill my Pinsir. But I'm trying to prove a point, cause he's set up in my face though. I'm just gonna return the favor and set up in his. So at this point, I don't see a way where he can win. So it was Rocky Helmet, defensive Lando, close combat that, return that, quick attack that, he doesn't get the burn, and I have close combat for the Pharaoh. So the only point of that is he got counter swept. I just want to see something real quick. Sucker Punch did 53, so I didn't die. That's all I was trying to figure out, if I died or not. So, Laddie versus Zard. I don't know what kind of Zard this is. If it's Y, he's gonna switch. If it's X, he should switch, so it doesn't tell me anything at all. So he roasted like Charizards can ever live Dracos from Laddie. Okay, so that makes me sad. So I'm assuming this is 3 attack Zard X, which is very good. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's so much better than bulky Zard X with Will-O-Wisp and Dragon Claw. It's better than DD3 attacks, because you can just kill stuff and there's no need to set up. So, force the double switch. He goes into Magearna so I can get rocks now. So I'm gonna switch into Growth and then Sleep Out on its Defog. Going to Laddie, so I Draco'd his fairy type, but he went into his other fairy type. So he shift gear Magearna. So he switches the thing that gets bodied by Earthquake into the other thing that gets bodied by Earthquake. So I don't understand that play at all. So I'm just gonna curse to let him know. So I'm scouting for what's the Z fairy move? Twinkle Tackle is why I recovered there. And then good luck PK. When you get the burn on the things you don't want to burn, awesome. So I end up burning his Mew, which kinda sucks for me, cause that's annoying. So he's default Mew, so he's gonna go in his Zard in before rocks. So I'm gonna switch the Latian, cause there's no universe that the Zard does anything but Flare Blitz. So I'm gonna Roost here on his Magearna switch, cause that was super obvious. I was gonna Roost again, but so he's Shift Gear, Focus Blast, Ice Beam, Magearna. So I guess he's not all the pummeling, cause he just would've killed my Keytran. So I don't even So he switches the thing that gets bodied by Earthquake into the other thing that gets bodied by Earthquake again. I don't understand. And then he taunts me to sack his Coco. So he wants to keep defogging, that's fine. I don't want to see how fast that Lando is. He U-turns, my mag again. He stays in and roosts. I'm gonna Draco this time. I'm not gonna recover on him, cause having Lottie at 13% means I can default, and that's the Lottie never has to be full for anything ever. So he's gonna Ice Beam with them again. That's cool. Now Keldeo also loses to my Gastro, so that's Scarf damage, so he's not Specs. I don't know what he is. I'm assuming it's Scarf, cause it's either that or Coco, but it's not Coco. I Giga Drain because the obvious switch to Mew or Coco was a thing, so he'll never let me Sleep Powder. So here it is, and I guess that's why I wanted this game. So my reward for switching into an Ice Beam that does less than lefties is I get frozen, but that's part of the game. I'm not mad. So, as one turn, just peep the turns. And that's why I hate freeze so much, because when you play better than your opponent, to where you get all these free turns to thaw out, but you don't thaw out. I wouldn't care if I was frozen and I never had a chance, but I'm frozen and he gives me like 25,000 free turns is the point. So we're just playing this game. So his Lando is actually killing himself. I don't need mag anymore, cause the Magearna is getting beaten down. I think this Keldeo Scarf and Coco outspeeds me anyway. So I cursed because I had a free turn and I want to get this Mew to use Will-O-Wisp, because I didn't know if Willow was gonna thaw you. So I wanted to see. So I switched into the Willow with the Heatran. I get Flash Fire, but I don't get thawed, so that's good to know. So he defaults, so that's another turn. Then he soft boiled, that's another turn. And then he switches, that's another turn. Then this Lando has HP Ice, so I've seen every move on the set: Earthquake, U-turn, Stealth Rock, HP Ice. That's another turn. So I know Scald thaws me out, so I want to switch into the Scald. That doesn't happen, so now he gets rocks. Then he gets a crit. Then I miss the Sleep Powder. Can't truly KO my Gastrodon though. Switches a Coco, taunts me to get body. That's okay. So I don't know why he did that, but he locks himself in a secret store. So now Pincer just wins the game from here. So I'm gonna Swords Dance, and then I'm gonna Swords Dance. Then I'm gonna body this. And I Swords Dance twice to make sure that close combat would kill the Magearna, because I'm not running Earthquake. Quick attack that. So I could end the game and just clean sweep him with Pincer. But I'm annoyed that Heatran was frozen and I actually got 11 turns to thaw and I didn't. So I'm just gonna make sure that I do thaw. So that makes the game a little bit longer, but it's fine. So if I would have had 2 more turns, I guess I could have thought out. And luckily he doesn't freeze me again. And if he did, I just would have sacked Lottie, and Pincer lives one more switch in the rocks anyway, so I can deal with that. So I don't know what this game is. So at this point I understand that he should always switch always, unless he's Scarfed. And looking at his team, Lottie's the only thing faster than Volt, so I'm under the impression that is Lottie's Scarfed and is Lando's Rocks. And then I surf his Magearna and I see that it is actually Assault Vest, which is cool. Gastro blacks the Volt switch. So I double into Lando. I'm gonna set up Rocks to scout the speed. I assume this is defensive Lando already. So he also rocks, which is fine. So here, I thought that he would close combat predicting Heatran, because if he pin missiles, gives me a free switch to Tran, I get a free lava plume on something and probably kill his Heracross and maybe burn it, but that doesn't happen, so I lose growth. And then he switched also, so switching to Tran would have been the play, but I don't need growth actually at all, not anymore. So Lottie just walls Volcanion forever, always. And even though this is Assault Vest Magearna, it doesn't want to get beat down. I don't think that crit mattered actually. And then he's throwing away his Magearna, which I also don't understand, because what's the point of a Magearna? So I don't understand what he's trying to do now. So he Earth Powers me twice. I don't understand. So in that spot, I assume that he's always gonna trick, and he does trick. So he steals my scarf to get the scarf. Now that flash cannon was important because now I killed the laddie at +2. And then I double instead of, if I would have flash cannon, I probably would have killed the Lando with 2. But the double into his Lando, because he's defensive and I see that he's lefties now, I can set up on this guy. And then he HP ices, which is why I didn't go Mega. He's still HP icing. So that wasn't me being greedy. Before I started setting up, I knew that the Volk was gonna burn me. So I need to be at +6 for that not to matter. So I'm under the impression that the Volk will burn me. Oh look, I get burned. So Pence just runs through the rest of his team. Good game, I guess. And then I don't even know what this game is, but we'll see what it is. So Gren versus Laddie, but he's not Ashgren. At least there's that. I assumed he was Scarf because the only thing that should and could be Scarf is Grim with Rockslide for Volk. He gets a crit, he sees that Wrecky helmet, so I assume that this is RY. But it's Fire Punch Zard X, so I don't know what that was. So Tran into the Chansey. He S-tosses. I toxic him. He's got T-Wave. I taunt him now. I'm actually faster than Chansey Paralyzed anyway. So, I don't even know what's going on right now. So he U-turns the Heatran, but I get a Toxic off on the Mew. So now I can get my Rock Sub. So he's got Fire Punch and Earthquake. I don't know what else he has. So he Fire Punches to let me put his Zord to sleep. And I don't understand, but it's cool. So I'm gonna double into his Mew. So I'm pretty sure this Mew is gonna Willow me. But if he Willows me, I'm gonna do what I did last game and just keep setting up. So Swords Dance, he Willows. Then I'm gonna Swords Dance, he's gonna Defog. then I'm gonna Swords Dance, and he switches. So right here, if I go Mega and just Frustration you lose the game. So, aren't you gonna try to Intimidate Stormy? Or Intimidate Shuffle? So, a Frustration, apparently, that's expecting too much. So, he was gonna give me the game. And if I would've went Mega, his Earthquake would've whiffed, which is funny. So Pence just runs through the 6. Burn doesn't matter actually. So good game, boss man. That's different. So once again, Scarf Grin, U-turning. So this is the first of 4 6-0s that I have that were decent. So his Scissor is sleeping. His Grin is most likely scarfed. I'm spamming knockoff to get the glitch score. So it's lefty's Zygarde. And he's gonna start coiling. If I had HP Ice, he just threw a Zygarde. But without lefties, it's fine anyway. Then he shows E-Speed. So coil, 1,000 arrows, sub, and E-Speed. So he doesn't have Toxic. So Zygarde just always wins against this. So I assume he's gonna Stealth Rock. So I keep knocking off to hit the glitch score. That was what I was aiming at. So the obvious switch to Finny is obvious, but those rocks are annoying. So he's the Finny with, I assume, default, taunt, Nature's Madness, and Moonblast, so he can't actually ever beat the Heatran ever. So I Lava Plume. So I can Rocks, and now Misty Terrain goes away, so I can Toxic him. So he should switch on the taunt. Now, if he's a baller, he goes back to Finny, so he does. So, he saw taunt. He is Toxic. There's no universe where he lets me taunt him again, cause he can't ever beat the train. Okay, I was mistaken. So, not only did he let me taunt him, but he didn't even attack if I did. So I'm still trying to hit the glitch score. And the Mew can always recover there because Misty Terrain was up, so the Draco would have done like 30%. So that was ballsy, him switching into Grin, but it was a fair play. So finally, he gets his Gliscor in. The thing I was trying to stop that whole time just did never happen ever. So now I see it's especially defensive Gliscor. I don't care about. I don't know why he would ever switch the thing that dies to Draco Meteor into the other thing that dies to Draco Meteor, instead of switching in the thing that never dies to Draco Meteor. I don't understand, but it's cool. So this Gliscor is starting to look like it's super annoying, cause it is, but that's fine. And then he spams Toxic, which is good play. So I get my Laddie poison, but that's fine. I can't be T-waved, I guess, is the silver lining. So he does have Taunt. So Taunt, Defog, Nature's Madness, and Moonblast. So I know it's set. So he keeps spamming Toxic. And then I keep spamming Surf. But he stays in, so he gives me a free switch and a pincer. So I Swords Dance, he stays asleep. Now if he would have woke up, he would have bullet punched me. And I would have Swords Danced again, cause I can live 2 bullet punches and an E-speed from Zygarde. So I Swords Dance again, kill him with Quick Attack. I was always gonna take the E-speed, but if I took the other bullet punch, I'd be at 2%, is the point. I still would be alive, so it's all gravy. And then Gliscor was gonna be at 62. Gren is scarfed. Mew and Finny die. So, oops, my bad, yo. Got 6-0, yo. In this game, the only thing about this game, so I always lead Lottie to always make them take Rocky Helmet when I switch into the fake out, is the point of that. So he switches Magearna into the Sleep Powder, that's cool. I knock off to see what item he has, and this is Z-move. That's awesome. So Gastro always rolls every Magearna on the planet. So I guess that was offensive Lando. I know it's not Scarf because he has a Ditto. So y'all saw that right. It said 0%. The reason that a +2 frustration did nothing to the thing is he's running max happiness on his ditto. I run frustration, not return, that anti-ditto tech, in case niggas don't understand. So I'm gonna vote switch. I try to explain it to him, how it works actually. So the vote switch gives me a free SD again. Well, not free. It's gonna cost me like a third, but he gets a crit, which is fine-ish, I guess. The reason that's not, cause now I can't live fake out quick attack from the lope, if that's the thing. I forgot about Liquid Ooze because I haven't seen Tentacruel outside of rain in years. So he's got Acid Spray, which is cool, but he has no electric immunity, so I can just freely I can volt switch freely. So he's got Flash Cannon on Magearna, but he's got volt switch. So what is a volt switch Z move Magearna with Flash Cannon? I don't understand. So at this point I'm perplexed. And then he's asking me questions about why Magneton over Magnezone. So I know this guy isn't good at all because of the nature of his question, aka he's asking stupid questions. So after scouting forever on this Magearna, he's Corkscrew Crash Magearna. So he's the only Magearna in the game that's walled by Heatran. Okay, that's cool. So I guess he's trying to sack Magearna. So I'm gonna skip turns. Basically, I just... Ew, my bad. Basically, I set up because I saw Clear Smog, so he doesn't have haze, but I forgot that he can just Clear Smog me anyway. So I set up for no reason, basically, is the point of that. So he Clear Smogs, but he still takes a hell of damage anyway. And then he scalded my Gastro, which is a play, I guess. So I'm gonna Volt Switch in a Tran, cause I know I can take 2 T-Bolts and then kill him. So I'm gonna switch into Gastro to absorb the Scald. I told him that he can't spin, and he says of course he can. So apparently this nigga also doesn't know things that niggas should know. So he tries to spin, he can't spin, you can't ever spin. And then Gross just gonna because Loke can't do anything. Oops, my bad. You just got 6-0. Yo, look at this shameless plug for the Rate My Team. It's funny too. I guess that's why I put that out before I put this out. So I guess this is the third 6-0. Yeah. And apparently, so Gastrodon is so good versus Rain. So I'm on Toxic the Pelipper. I should have set up rocks. The play is always U-turn or Hurricane. For my opponent is the point. So he goes Celesteela. He tried to autonomize, and then he's got Earthquake. Then he gets the attack boost. So this is offensive physical Celesteela. So Celesteela that's walled by Tangrowth. That's different. Then he heavy slams. So I guess if I wasn't physically defensive, Tangrowth, that actually would have done some damage. So he actually switches immediately, so he didn't burn any sleep. That's cool. Now I see Scarf Lottie. So once again I get off damage, so Lottie dies at +2 from Pinsir now. So I'm gonna double into his Swampert. And then I was aiming at his Pelipper to knock off the Damp Rock, and then he knocks off. And then I'm gonna double into his Pelipper again. Then he's packing Thunder, which is cool, because I didn't know a universe where you would Thunder when I have Gastro. And I just want to stall Rain turns right now, which is what was going on there. So there he misplays. He sets up rocks, gives me a curse, so now I win. Cause Swampert can't ever win unless he crits me. And I know I'm playing with crits if I keep setting up. So now I guess I'm playing with Confusion. So now I'm playing with flinches. So at this point, all I can do is let him kill himself. So that's what I'm going to proceed to do. Gastro's so fat. I don't care if he flinches me, as long as he doesn't get 2 flinches in a row. So obviously you can tell that I just life stalled the whole Greninja I end up at full. Celesteela hasn't burned any sleep at all. I guess the Coco doesn't have grass knot, so, you know, Gastrodon just 6-0's rain apparently. Yo, Gastrodon really did run through the 6, yeah? Oops. My bad, yo. I didn't mean to 6-0 you, dog. And then, this is the only 6-0 that I actually liked. And, I played a perfect game minus 1 turn. So, not a perfect game, but pretty much a perfect game. So, Bulu versus Growth. He can't ever do anything. I'm always gonna sleep powder, always. Cause Bulu always loses to Tangrowth. So he doesn't burn sleep with Clef. He's gonna discharge with Zapdos. So of course he gets the static para. He's still not burning any turns of sleep with Clef. So this dude is actually pretty good. So I doubled because he was going Lati, or he was gonna stay in with Clef and pretty much let me win the game. I'm also playing super weird with the Heatran because he's got Dougie. And I wanted to bait out the Draco from the Lati, because versus the Pinsir, he can't ever defog, and he's not man enough to trick. So what I've learned about the whole dog trail thing is people are almost never willing to switch it in. So I don't ever want to kill anything with the Heatran. So here it's like I won't let you roost for free. So we're doing this. So now he HP ices in our Earthquake. I'm gonna Earthquake again. So if I curse one time, it's all gravy. So the trick is the most obvious thing ever. So, oh wow, I did it again. My bad, y'all. So because Dougie's a force, I'm never gonna Earthquake this, or I'm never gonna Volt Switch this Lati. Now, if I would have Volt Switched, I hit the dose, and then I kill him with whatever I want. Now, this is before Ultra Sun and Moon, I think. Yeah, this is way before Ultra Sun and Moon. So, because he doesn't have pressure on the Zapdos, he doesn't have default. So the Zapdos gets a free roost. the Zapdos is at like 60% when it comes back in. So the Bulu has Leech Seed. That's good to know. So there I double into a Zapdos again. And now it's gonna be at like 40%. Well, 60 minus 5 is 50. So he's at 30% when he comes. What am I doing? 60, 55, 30. Yeah, he's at 35 when he comes back in. So I Draco, because if he switches into Bulu or Clef, I don't take Life Orb. So he doubles again. I still can't kill this laddie with Quick Attack. He has to Draco always. So I end up surfing instead of doubling into Pinsir. So if I would have doubled into Pinsir here, I actually did play a perfect game. But he stayed in because he got tired of doubling forever. Because that's all that was happening was we were in the double switching Olympics. So it doesn't matter, because if he would have stayed asleep, I have Swords Dance for free. If he wakes up, he can, I guess, do like 80% with a flamethrower. Is the most he can do. So anyway, Pinsir, just because of that, Pinsir runs through the 6. I kill the Dougie, I kill the Zapdos, I kill the Gren, Clef dies because he's not unaware, Boo dies, and Laddie dies. So there was that. I wanted to see Clef on a Pinsir. Right, so does a crit even do 88%? Oh, so if he got max damage crit and he woke up first turn, he could have killed me. But that's if he has flamethrower. I don't know, I was just curious is all. So, oh yeah, the only point of this game was Jam's team is so, like, I hate Broken Rain because it's so cookie cutter and everybody has the same Rain team. Like Coco Lucha, Swampert Kingdra, and then Pelipper Lando. Like, that's the thing. Or you have a Pharaoh instead of the Lando. Anyway, these 5 are always the same. But when I started using James' team, it's pretty much auto win on rain if I play correctly. And so then I stopped hating broken rain all of a sudden, and I actually relish these matchups. So there's no universe where Pelipper ever clicks water move, but he might click it. So he clicked it when I have Gastrodon, so that's cool, but I'm not mad because I guess you always scold in case I go for rocks. Okay. So that's the play he should have made before. I think is the U-turn into my switch, because I still put rocks behind him, so he has to come in a rocks. So that's weird. So the Swampert, I don't know, he just earthquaked. Like I don't have a Tangrowth, that's fine. So I Giga Drain the Coco, cause apparently when I knock off or I Sleep Powder, they don't want to switch into Lando, and they don't want to switch into Pelipper. So Giga Drain did half to the Coco, and so this is the thing. He's got electric terrain, so nothing on his team can go to sleep except for Lando and except for Hawlucha. So Electric Seed Hawlucha is always the play. They U-turn or Volt Switch into Hawlucha. So Sleep Powder is always my play. So Hawlucha sleep. So now Lottie's always the switch. Hawlucha can't ever kill me. Surf always kills him, so I don't have to miss Draco. He stays asleep anyway. Now the only difference that made is I'm at 90% instead of 40%. Then he Ice Beams, because you know Heatran's not a thing, I guess. Then he's gonna Hurricane me, so now I'm playing with Confusion. Yep. So I don't want to play with Confusion, so I'm gonna go to Magneton, then double switch. So I don't know what kind of Coco this is. So apparently he's not choice, but now the Coco has to die. The rocks coming. Well, he's gonna be at 2%. So I'm trying to stall out rain turns, but he gets a crit. So I can stall out as many as possible. I sacked the Magneton because I can live -2 Draco with Pinsir and Swords Dance and win the game, because Rain's gonna run out now. Pelipper died. This is always Z-move Lando. Swampert goes down and The cocoa's at 2%, so that's gonna go down 2. So, you know, I hated Broken Rain, now I love Broken Rain, yo. He didn't get 6-0 though. And then, shout outs for having respect for this guy, using Serena and Primarina in OU, which is cool. So this game is about what happens when, you know, there's sometimes when you have somebody's number, yo. You just got it in for them. So the Shuckle lead, I'm gonna taunt him to bust his mental herb. He doesn't have a Bisharp, so I don't mind actually defogging. So because he saw taunt, he's not gonna stay and let me taunt him again. So the obvious switch was Dragonite, and so it's Z-move Dragonite. I'm gonna set up rocks here so the Dragonite comes in instead of just toxicing him. Cause if I toxic him off the bat, he'll never Dragon Dance. He'll only Earthquake me immediately. So if I set up rocks, then I can toxic him on his Dragon Dance and then start playing games. So that's what I'm gonna do. So Earthquake is the move. So Tangro's the thing. So now it's Supersonic Sky Strike time, but I'll just call it Z-Fly. So I can either go to Magneton or Heatran. I'm going to go to Heatran to take the Z-Fly, and then Magneton to take the Fly afterwards. So that's what happens. Now he flies. Okay. And then he extreme speed. So he doesn't have Dragon Stab, which is funny. So I can switch into his Rapid Spin and then defog on his U-turn. So the thing about that is I get rid of webs, but it also gives me switch initiative. So I guess he didn't understand that +2 quick attack probably kills this. I don't know, does it? From 71. Let's see. What was I calculating Magneton? Oh, it's a roll. Okay. 75. So I guess he knew it was a role, and so did I. So I can break his disguise, he's gonna Shadow Claw. Now, he missed, but that didn't actually matter. Plus 2 play rough does 58. So the double switch into the Magneton. So because I showed taunt, there's no way that the Shuckle is ever staying in ever. So I taunt to Primarina and he double switches on me. So respect for that play. That was good play. I like that. That makes me happy. I like that a lot. So we both get up rocks again. Primarina comes in. Gastrodon's my switch to see just what kind of Primarina it is, its specs. So at this point I can go to Heatran and take nothing. I'm expecting him to stay in and Moonblast again, expecting me to recover because that play is so obvious. Because I think he should switch into anything, because my Heatran comes in for free. I go to Heatran, he stays in, he Moonblasts again. Okay. So I'm glad that I am actually thinking about this game correctly. So Lava Plume hit his Shuckle. Kill his Mimikyu. So once again, I'm gonna switch into the Rapid Spin and then default, and then get a switch initiative on his U-turn, except it'll kill me this time. And I live just barely. So at this point it's good game. And now Pinsir runs through his last 3. They all get O-code from here. I know that Spaxel's not Scarf. I know this dies. And Serena dies. And then it was funny. I didn't know Primarina takes 96. I didn't know Shuckle barely takes half. And I didn't know Serena takes the super effective frustration almost the same as Primarina. So that was the last game, and this game was also showing momentum. Like, I got it, I kept it, I've won. And him U-turning my laddie actually gave me the momentum, because we went to neutral when he spun and I defaulted, but then he gave me the momentum on the U-turn, showing me what he switched into. So this was a super long video, but it's cool because I said this is the second one. I got 2 more. So the next one's probably gonna be long like this too, but then the third one should be substantially shorter. But you already know it's the Breeder Gang boss, man. Y'all just be easy, man, and get at me. Yo, Rashi, good luck on the video and all that. Shout out to all my Aqua Ninjas and everybody left in the Breeder Gang. Yo, what up, what up? I see y'all. Get at me. Alright, y'all. 1. Be easy. Holla.
My nigga never saw his paw, and my paw and my mama never got married. We both bastards. I stopped fucking with niggas, cause that's how it is. I only got a certain amount of friends, and that certain amount gonna turn into a few, and that few into a couple. So if you a new nigga, fuck you, cause I feel like you just trying to get down, but I'm like, you ain't fuck with me.